What's going on, guys? We're back with another episode here in Nolan's Pod. We got a lot to get into. The Kirk Cousins situation, the NBA Cup tournament, championship games last night. Let's get into this Kirk Cousins thing. The game, Monday night, the Falcons played the Las Vegas Raiders. Score ended up being 15-9. Kirk Cousins' struggles continued. He only threw the ball 17 times. He was 11 for 17, 112 yards for Kirk Cousins, 1 touchdown. That throw was to Drake London. 1 interception. Kirk Cousins was sacked 3 times. Bijan Robinson had 22 carries for 125 yards, 1 reception for 10 yards for Bijan Robinson. Tyler Algier had 12 carries for 43 yards. Drake London, 3 receptions for 53 yards. He had the touchdown, as I mentioned to you guys. Kyle Pitts, 4 receptions for 28 yards. Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates each had an interception on defense. Falcons' defense was phenomenal. They should have been against a team that's not going to put up any points. I'm not even going to tell you guys about the Raiders side because it's nothing. It's nothing to tell you that's just wasting time. They're like 2-13. They did face their former quarterback Desmond Ridder did the Falcons face. He was 23 of 39, 208 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Desmond Ridder was sacked 3 times. Desmond Ridder had 5 carries for 28 yards. Anyway, let's break this down. Kirk Cousins' struggles continued. He only threw the ball 17 times. That means they ran the ball with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Bijan Robinson, as I mentioned to you guys, had 22 carries for 125 yards. That means Zach Robinson, Falcons offensive coordinator, he put the ball in Bijan Robinson's hands, and he took the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands. And that's how the Falcons won the game with their run game. What I would tell you guys is it shouldn't have took for the Falcons and Zach Robinson it shouldn't have took them this much time in the season to run the ball. We all know that Kirk Cousins has been struggling the last 4 to 5 games anyway. And y'all just keep throwing because y'all a pass-happy team. Most of these teams in the NFL are pass-happy. Look at the Baltimore Ravens. Y'all got Derrick Henry. And when they lose, when the Baltimore Ravens have lost the season, it's been because they've gotten pass-happy and they forgot that they had Derrick Henry. They haven't run the ball. You look at what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing. They have not got pass happy. Saquon Barkley has been running the ball down teams' throats all year long. I'm the one that said that Bijan Robinson, he can be like Saquon Barkley. Bijan Robinson can be like Derrick Henry if the Falcons just use him in the right way and run the ball. And it took for all these past 4 to 5 games for us to see Kirk Cousins struggling all over the place. It took them to play the Las Vegas Raiders to realize, we need to run the ball so we can keep the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands, so we can keep the ball out of harm's way. It should not have took for Kirk Cousins to struggle this bad for y'all to realize, Falcons, that we need to run the ball anyway. That's a strength of ours. We have 2 good running backs. We have Bijan Robinson. We have Tyler Algier. 2 good running backs. We have to use them. We used them in this game, obviously, because we didn't have a choice. We had to. We didn't want Kirk Cousins putting the ball in harm's way because he's struggling. Bijan Robinson, for the first time in his career, he eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark on the season. I was surprised that Bijan Robinson got to the 1,000-yard mark this season. And it's not because I didn't think that he could do it. I know that Bijan Robinson has that capability. It's that we're throwing the ball with Kirk Cousins so much that we're a pass-happy team that's why it was surprising to me that Bijan Robinson got to the 1,000-yard mark on the season. Because it's like we don't run the ball. All our plays, we're pass-happy. So that's why I was surprised that Bijan Robinson got to 1,000 yards. Not because I didn't think he could do it. He has the capabilities to do it. The Falcons just don't run the ball. But like I said, it took to this game for us to realize that we need to run the ball because we don't want Kirk Cousins putting the ball in harm's way. Kirk Cousins, he takes unnecessary sacks that he does not need to take. He's throwing the ball behind guys. The balls are off target. He's really stuck in the mud and struggling, and he can't move. Obviously, we know he's an in the pocket quarterback. He's never been athletic. These are things that the Falcons all knew before they signed him, and as they were signing him, we all knew this. We all knew this. It was flowers and roses when we were 6-3. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was lighting teams up. He was doing good, but you know when you get that pressure on Kirk Cousins and he's stuck in the pocket, he starts to panic when he gets that pressure on him, and he can't move himself out the pocket because he's not athletic. He can't run. He does not have that ability of a Lamar Jackson, of a Jalen Hurts to get free and scramble and run. He does not have that ability. He can't do that. He's never been that. That's not him. So we shouldn't expect that of him, which I think we don't expect that of him at least. So you know, it's tough to see it because it's not surprising, because you could say the Achilles injury might have set him back, and yeah, you could make that a case too. But Kirk Cousins, this has always been his thing. He's always been hot, cold with the Washington Commanders, his former team. He was good, but he would go through these spells where, you know, he's going to mess it up. He's going to mess it up, and he's going to give you the good with the bad. And when he gives you the bad, you try to take more of the good because he has good in him, but you try to take more of the good than what he gives you with the bad. Same thing with Minnesota. He had his best years in Minnesota. He gave you a lot of good, but coming with that good is coming with the bad. He's going to make a lot of boneheaded plays. And you live with that because he's going to give you a lot of good, but he's going to give you a lot of bad. Same thing this season. We got started off. We got started off on the right foot. We went 6-3. He gave you a lot of good. Now these last 4 or 5 games he's struggling. He gave you a lot of bad. The thing is with this game is we should have been blown. This should have been the blowout. The score was 15-9 against the Las Vegas Raiders team who only has 2 wins on the season. Against the Las Vegas Raiders team who's depleted. Against the Las Vegas Raiders team, they're the Las Vegas Raiders. They don't have anything. They don't have anything going for them. They're trying to get a top draft pick. They're trying to get Shedeur Sanders. They don't have anything going for them. A Falcons team that's supposed to be so high-powered offensively, we're supposed to put up at least 30 points on these guys, at least. We only had 15. So you talk about stuck in the mud and Kirk Cousins not doing what he needed to do in this ball game and us having to run the ball. You still continue to. I'm just so perplexed because you continue to struggle against a team that you should be lighting up. We should have lit the Las Vegas Raiders up for 30 points at least. Give credit to our defense. They only allowed 9 points. Defense phenomenal. Defense has been phenomenal lately. But the offense, Kirk, you know, you can't put up what 525 yards on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Excuse me. You put up 525 yards on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. And you only had, 112 yards in this game against the Las Vegas Raiders team. They didn't have Max Crosby. Max Crosby's out for the rest of the year. So you didn't have to worry about that either. And we couldn't put up at least 30 points in that game. We supposed to blew these people out. And that game was more closer than what I would have liked to have seen. But you know, when it's the Falcons, you can't guarantee a win. This was not a guaranteed win. It went right down to the last play in the Hail Mary by the Las Vegas Raiders and Desmond Ridder. It went right down to the last play for us to exhale. This game should have been the blowout. So, Tuesday night on social media, I come across Michael Penix Jr. is starting in the place of Kirk Cousins for the Atlanta Falcons. Okay. Most people are happy with that. I'm happy with it. On the flip side, I have some feelings about it because it's like, yes, we're 7-7. The Buccaneers are 8-7. Our last 3 games are against the Giants, the Washington Commanders, and the Carolina Panthers. I love that Michael Penix Jr. is getting his chance. I love it. I'm a fan of the kid. I like him. No question about that. I love him. He's going to be good. He's watched Kirk Cousins for most of the year. The red flag that I like, hold up. Wait a minute. We're in the playoff race. We're still in the thick of things. I can see if we weren't in the playoff race anymore and then we decided to go with Michael Penix Jr., I can see that. Okay, cool. I would have no problem with that. The problem what I have with it is we're throwing the rookie into the fire and we have 3 games remaining against teams who are not good defensive teams. The Washington Commanders are not good defensively. The New York Giants are atrocious defensively, and the Carolina Panthers are not good defensively. Okay, cool, but you're in a playoff race. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Cowboys on Sunday. They could very well lose, as they could very well win. We're a game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You keep, even though Kirk, as bad as Kirk Cousins is struggling, you keep the veteran quarterback in, the guy that gives you the best option to win over a rookie quarterback who has not seen a snap in the NFL this season. You keep your veteran in there. If we were to lose another game and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were to win another game, they would have another game up on us. Then I would see that. You put Michael Penix Jr. in, then I see that. But we're in the thick of a playoff race. We're a game out, and we're playing 3 easy teams. Yes, Kirk Cousins did not light up a team that he should have lit up. He should have lit up the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes. The Giants, he's more than capable of lighting up. The Washington Commanders, his former team, who we have to go to Washington to play, he can light them up. And then the Carolina Panthers, he can light them up too. So these are teams that Kirk Cousins could play well against, but he's not going to get that opportunity because he struggled so bad that they're making the decision to go with Penix. I like it, but I just, we're in the playoff race. If we weren't in the playoff race, then I'd be like, yeah, go with Penix. But throwing a rookie in the thick of a playoff race, I don't see it. I don't like it. The one thing that Michael Penix Jr. has going for him is, as I keep mentioning, we're playing 3 easy teams. We're playing an atrocious Giants team. We're playing the Washington Commanders. They're not an easy team. The Washington Commanders are not an easy team. Let me get that out the way. I shouldn't have said they're an easy team. Defensively, the Washington Commanders are not good defensively. Offensively, they're spectacular. And then you got the Carolina Panthers, not a great team. So that's what Michael Penix Jr. has going for him. If he has something going for him, he's playing 3 teams that are bad defensively. The positive thing about it is, if Michael Penix Jr. somehow goes 3-0 and we get some help from the Buccaneers and they lose a couple of games and Michael Penix Jr. goes 3-0, then we'd be like, oh, the rookie led the Falcons he snuck the Falcons into the playoffs. The other flip side of that, the negative part of it is Michael Penix Jr. lost 1 of 2 games, or he lost 2 games, or he lost the remaining 3 games. Falcons somehow don't get in. Should they have started? We're going to revisit. Should they have kept Kirk Cousins in there in the thick of a playoff race versus starting a rookie quarterback? That's what we're going to look at. So we're going to find out what's going to happen in these last 3 games. We're going to find out. We need help from the Buccaneers, and we need to just win the remaining 3 games. The NBA Cup play-in tournament, or in-season tournament, I should say, was last night. The Oklahoma City Thunder went against the Milwaukee Bucks. Nobody really gave the Milwaukee Bucks a chance. Rightfully so. The Oklahoma City Thunder have a lot of weapons. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they have weapons. But defensively, OKC is a force to be reckoned with defensively. When you have Lou Dort, when you have Alex Caruso, when you have SGA, when you have Cason Wallace, when you have J-Dub, when you have Isaiah Hartenstein, guys who can defend, all those guys, they can defend. They do it very well. They have a lot of perimeter defenders. The Milwaukee Bucks don't have a lot of perimeter defenders, if any at all. So when you have guys that get it done defensively on OKC's team, you are right to pick OKC over Milwaukee because the OKC Thunder, they can get it done defensively. Milwaukee, to win, they have to get it done offensively. Boy, were we wrong. I was one of the many people that picked OKC. The thing about trying to predict sports is when you think you're right, you get humbled because you're wrong. And that's when you get humbled because you were so wrong that you were like, what the heck happened? How did I get this wrong? How did we get this wrong? Obviously, we know Damian and Giannis going to do their thing, which they did. Giannis, 26 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks for Giannis. Giannis was 10 and 19 from the field. Damian, 23 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. He was 6 for 12 from the field was Damian, and he was 5 from 10 from downtown was Damian. We know those two guys are going to do their thing. I told my dad last night, I was like, I would let Giannis do his thing. I'm going to let Giannis get his, which he got his, because you can't stop Giannis. Nobody can. They tried to build a wall. They tried to throw Hartenstein on him. They tried to throw Lou Dort on him. They tried to throw Caruso on him. They tried Casey Wallace. They tried to build the wall. That didn't work. Like I told my dad, I would let Giannis get his, which he got his. The other pieces, I'm not letting beat me. That includes Damian too. They're going to get theirs. The other pieces like Brook Lopez, Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, the Bobby Portises, they let get involved. They let get involved. The role players, they let get involved. Bobby Portis only had 2 points, but it was the other things he did, like the rebounding and his physicality. When Bobby Portis comes in, he changes the energy. We know that. Brook Lopez had 13 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 1 steal for Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez was 5 for 12 from the field. He was 3 for 6 for downtown was Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez's presence defensively also was a huge factor because he's a good defensive big man. Gary Trent Jr. popped off. He had 13 points, 5 for 9 from the field, 3 for 6 from downtown. AJ Green had 9 points on 3 threes. The role players you can't let get going, and they kind of let some of those role players get off. Taurean Prince had 2 threes. Taurean Prince also played underrated defense. And then Milwaukee Bucks, you have to give the Bucks credit. Yes, Damian and Giannis did their thing, as we keep mentioning. They held the Oklahoma City Thunder to 81 points. What did I just tell you guys? The OKC Thunder have a lot of good perimeter defenders. They have a lot of good interior defenders. The Milwaukee Bucks shut the OKC Thunder down offensively. I mean, they really did. The OKC Thunder only scored 81 points. J-Dub, Jalen Williams, was 8 for 20 from the field on 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks for J-Dub. J-Dub had 2 steals, and he was 1 for 4 from downtown. J-Dub, 8 for 20 from the field. That's not J-Dub. Isaiah Hartenstein had 16 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 6 for 11 from the field. That's Isaiah Hartenstein-like. Isaiah Joe got the start at shooting guard. He was 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 6 from downtown, 7 points. If Isaiah Joe is only giving you 1-3 and not doing anything else, that's not going to help you. If Luguentz Dort is only giving you 4 points, that's not going to help you. Obviously, Dort's job is to play defense, but you also need him to kind of give you like at least 10 points. If SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, if he's only 8 for 24 from the field and 2 for 9 for downtown, that's not going to help you win, obviously. And that's a big reason why they only scored 81 points, because SGA could not get off, J-Dub couldn't get off, and the rest of the guys, the role players, they didn't get off. You have to give the Milwaukee Bucks credit. They don't have perimeter defenders. So like Damian Lillard said, we had to guard SGA and those guys and J-Dub and those guys as a team. It's not no one individual person. we had to guard them as a team. It wasn't like OKC and they could throw Dort on Damian and they could throw Caruso on Damian and they could throw Casey Wallace on Damian or they can throw SGA on Damian. It wasn't like that for the Bucks. They had to guard SGA and them as a team, and they did a great job of it. We got to give the Bucks a lot of credit because Giannis Antetokounmpo, he said that I'm not going to let us lose this game, and he played like prime LeBron. Giannis bowling people over, elbow. Giannis got away with a lot last night. He traveled a million and one times. It rarely really got caught. He's bowling people over, going to the hole like prime LeBron James, getting to the line, getting to the free throw line, just getting whatever he wants when he wants. OKC, they tried. They really did try to stop this man, but you're not going to stop Giannis. You're not going to stop Damian. You're just not going to stop these guys. And one thing about OKC shot 5 from 32 from downtown. 5 of 32. That's 15.6%. The Milwaukee Bucks shot 17 of 40 from downtown. That's 42%. OKC only shot 33% from the field. 33% from the field OKC shot. They only scored 81 points. The Milwaukee Bucks did a great job of sharing the basketball. They had 25 assists to the OKC Thunder's 13 assists. Milwaukee also did a good job of out-rebounding Milwaukee. Or vice versa. The Milwaukee Bucks did a good job of out-rebounding the OKC Thunder, 52-43. The Bucks' biggest lead in this game was 20. The score was 97-81. One thing that I would credit OKC in this ball game is even though they lost the game, they only allowed Milwaukee 97 points. This was the 12th time, if you're counting, the 12th time that the OKC Thunder has allowed a team under 100 points. And they still lost because they couldn't get it going offensively. They struggled from three. They struggled from the field. We have to give Milwaukee the Bucks credit because we like, Milwaukee, they don't have no defenders. They can't defend. And they only allowed this team 81 points. So we have to give Milwaukee a lot of credit. We have to give Doc Rivers credit. I'm happy for Damian and I'm happy for Doc Rivers because it's been a lot of talk that Damian, yeah, he's still that dude, but he doesn't got it like he had it in prime Portland like Damian. Damian proved y'all wrong last night. And then on Doc Rivers' side, you know, Doc Rivers, his time with the Clippers, and he hadn't won a championship since 2008, and he didn't get nothing done with the 76ers. Y'all said Doc Rivers was so overrated and all this and all that. And then the Milwaukee Bucks got off to that horrible start this year, the 2-9 start. And we were like, what the hell is going on in Milwaukee? And they got off to that slow start and they picked it up. And they just won the NBA Cup championship. Now nobody has nothing to say. So I'm glad that Doc proved people wrong. Now, this is just a little in-season tournament. Obviously, the bigger picture is the NBA championship, but you got to give the Milwaukee Bucks credit when credit is due. That's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And tomorrow, we're getting into baseball because I have not had a chance to talk about Juan Soto's contract. And I have not had a chance to talk about Max Fried signing with the New York Yankees.